Abode of Greatness Worldwide is a greatness center and a subsidiary of John Ughulu Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and our mission is to serve, lead, and impact. Disclaimer: this is not a religious organization. For donations, volunteer services, and inquiries, visit our website, www.johnughulufoundation.org.
Hello, everybody. How are you? If you can hear me, I want you to please type, I can hear you. It's a blessed day. Please let us know where you are listening or watching this program from. And I just want to be sure that I'm not talking to myself. But anyway, like I always say, we are used to talking to ourselves. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching. Awesome. Thank you, Caroline. How are you? Yes, I see you watching from Abuja, Nigeria. That's awesome. Great. I'm glad you all are doing well. It's a blessed day. I'm starting my day with some fluid. This is a mug given to me by Chai Together. If you can see that, please let me know. Chai Together. That's from a good friend of mine, Pratibha Day. Pratibha, if you can see this is your Chai Together. How are you, Pratibha? Thank you, Caroline from Atlanta, Georgia, watching from the Philippines. I'm so glad you all are on board today. It's a blessed day. I want you to start your day with positive affirmations. Yes, let's go. Yeah, I see. Tied together. All right. So Abode of Greatness Worldwide is a greatness center and a subsidiary of the John Ughulu Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And our mission is to serve, lead, and impact. We will be having weekly inspirational and motivational broadcasts that will help people transition from where they are to where they want to be, either in their jobs, businesses, or personal life. And in the process of helping people transition, we will be helping families all over the world. We're starting with families in Africa, and we would also help lots of families in the United States to either pursue a career, start a business, or provide basic human needs like food, clothing, and shelter. And with the help of generous donors like yourself who's watching right now, we will select people every month and help them to either pursue a career, start a business, or provide basic human needs like food, clothing, and shelter. Our main focus will be on people who need these, our main focus will be on people between the ages of 16 to 25. And I know there's so many of them out there. There's so many of you who are watching right now. But the challenge is that you are too shy to come out. You should reach out. These resources are available for you to utilize. They're available for you, and for those who you know. So if you feel you're not comfortable coming out and requesting these things, you can just share the word. Let those who can come out and harness these opportunities do that. So thank you. We will be having these broadcasts every week, and we're still looking for a virtual DJ, someone who we can work with, who would help us every week to turn everything out. They say music is food for the soul. If you are a virtual DJ or you know one who can work with us, please have them send us an email. The email will be displayed on the screen shortly. We're also looking for a musical artist who sings inspirational and motivational songs, not religious songs, but songs that can inspire people and motivate people. If you are one of them or you know somebody, please have them contact us. If you're happy to be alive today and you are ready to serve, lead, and impact, I want you to type "I am ready" in the comment section, because it's all about leading, impacting lives. And I also want you to like and share this broadcast wherever you are. Like and share, because there's someone out there who will definitely benefit from what we will be talking about today. If you're watching from the group, the Morale Booster group, you will not be able to share it, but you can actually invite your contacts so they can be part of the broadcast, so they can see it. And for those who are watching the replay, just type #replay and we would know how to respond to your questions. So before I get started, I need to also share from my page. I want you all to do the same thing. It's a blessed day. Yes, I see Caroline says she's ready. I love that. Thank you for being ready. Please like and share. I'm going to do that right away. I had so much fun yesterday. It was a blessed day. We were able to attend the Cornerstone Christian University launch. It's a Cornerstone Christian University is a university that has a vision and a mission to provide affordable and quality education to 1 million people. So for those of you who do not know about Cornerstone Christian University, please visit the website. It's cornerstoneuniversity.org. If you know anybody who's trying to, get some quality education, affordable education, you can send them there. I'm just trying to share this on my page so we can get started. Just give me one quick second. So I want you all to grab some water, grab your pen and paper, and we will be starting shortly. I just want to share on my page. All right. Yes, that's done. Please take your time out to share on your page, because, there's someone out there who really needs to hear what we have to talk about today. So today's topic is understanding your purpose. Write that down. Understanding your purpose. You see how interesting the topic is. Understanding your purpose. So I want to first of all start by giving you the definition of the word purpose. Now, let me tell you why I love to define words before I start to talk about or teach these words. Because when I was growing up, my parents were so strict, and when it comes to spoken English, they wanted us to be perfect in terms of English language. So we were always using the dictionary to find the meaning of words. And those words that I mastered while I was still probably in primary, elementary school, high school, we call them primary school in Nigeria. Then high school in Nigeria was called secondary school. So we mastered lots of words, not the conventional words. But on getting to the labor market, I realized that some of those words that I thought I knew the exact meaning when I was growing up were actually not what they meant. So I took it upon myself, because I knew from that point that there are so many people who are also using words and do not know the exact meaning. So I took it upon myself to always tell people the exact meaning. It's just a way of reminding you, because you will hear new words every time you listen to me. So it's a thing I have chosen to do. I would always define these words so you can be able to easily apply it to your life. So let's define the word purpose. When you say purpose, purpose means the reason for which something or someone is or was created. Your purpose is the reason for which you were created. I want you to write that down. Purpose. Your purpose is the reason for which you were created. And as humans, because right now I know it's only humans that are watching me, or rather, it's only humans who can really comprehend what I'm talking about. So as humans, our purpose in life is to lead. So if you're listening to me now, your purpose is to lead. Your purpose is to impact. Your purpose is to effect. I want you to write that down. Your purpose in life is to lead. Your purpose is to impact. Your purpose is to influence. And your purpose is to effect. Now, when we're talking about impacting people, it means you are trying to affect something or someone. That's the impact. So you were born to lead, influence, and impact. Lead, influence, and impact. Write that down. Not until you understand that that is the reason for which you were created, you will find out that you still struggle with the basic things in life. Challenges are normal. There's no human being that would not go through challenges in his or her life. But when you always have it at the back of your mind that you were created to make an impact in the world, which means your assignment is to come into the world to deliver your gift and move on to the next level. Life will be playing some tricks on you. So you need to get that known. And when you want to use that word impact, then that's again is another thing. How can you impact people around you? How can you impact? How can you leave your footprint in the world? So all this comes with knowing your purpose. I'm going to share with you the word impact, I-M-P-A-C-T, impact. I have an acronym for that I would want you to use. When you master this acronym, it will help you understand how to understand what your purpose in life is. So for impact, the I in that word impact stands for identity, identifying your potential. You need to identify your potential. How can you identify your potential? It is by, first of all, knowing what you are called for, what you are called to do on earth. It is for you to search, to know that thing that you can do without even having to look back. That thing that when you wake up every morning, you are looking forward to doing it. That thing that you have within you that can help you add value to the lives of others, that can help you add value to the people around you, that can help you add value to the community. That is the I and impact, to identify your potential. Now we're talking about potential. Potential is basically another word. Potential. According to Dr. Miles Monroe, whom I really love his motivation, he says potential is also called unused gift. That gift you have inside of you that you have not used. That talent you have inside of you that you have not developed. That movie you have inside of you that you were supposed to produce, but for some reason you've been procrastinating. That's a potential. That book in you that you ought to have written several years ago and you have been procrastinating, that's your potential. That skill, that innate gift that you have in you that was given to you while you were created and you haven't used, that is potential. So the moment you develop that skill, the moment you harness that talent, it no longer becomes a potential if you have done it. So for you who's watching me, that book you have written, that music you have released is no longer a potential because you have already executed that. You have already done that. So you need to identify potentials within you, which is unused gift, unused talent. You're currently going through a lot right now in terms of your finances. You're currently going through a lot in terms of your personal development because you have not brought your potentials out. So the I means you need to identify your potential. I love to motivate people. I've always been that person who knew how to get the attention of people. We are in an attention-driven economy now. And that's the reason why I am able to harness my gift with the help of the internet to broadcast, to speak to you, to let you know that you've got potentials. I've always been that person who loves to encourage people. I've always been that person who loves to make people know that whatever they want, they can achieve it. They just shouldn't give up. And at that point, when I was much younger, I never knew there was a career path for such a talent. I never knew there was a career path for, advising, motivating people until much later. So you too need to identify what your potentials are. There is nothing you love to do that cannot be translated or that cannot be converted into adding value. No matter how small, no matter how insignificant you think that passion of yours is, it is a niche, but you just haven't figured out how to transform that niche into something that can add value. So identify your potential. So write down, the next one is M. M is to meditate. Meditate. At times we find it so difficult to really meditate. We find it difficult to reflect, to think, because we are in a very noisy environment these days. Everybody likes to play loud music. Everybody likes to watch television, listening to, watching movies, watching things that may not necessarily be relevant to your personal development. We are too distracted. In the world right now, the level of distraction has gone way up. So a lot of people don't meditate. They don't take time out to really sit down and reflect. So that's why I'm here today, to remind you that meditation is paramount. I want you to, if you're trying to do some character building exercise, if you're trying to, do some personal development, I want you to take time out to include meditation in your daily tasks. Meditation is paramount. Take time off, be by yourself. Think. While you're doing that, have a notepad and a pen with you so that whatever thoughts that come into your subconscious, into your mind, you can easily write them down. Let me tell you one thing. Research has proved it that the brain processes millions of information within a minute, millions of information. And you know what that means? It means within a minute, the information has to really fly past really fast, like really, really fast. So how can you control those thoughts? It means you have to master the act of controlling those thoughts so you can easily filter the useful ones and let the other ones go. I'm not saying they're not all useful, but so you can prioritize. You can easily select the ones you want to work on. So you imagine for a second that the brain processes millions of information within a minute. It means if you do not master the act of controlling the flow, you would always end up with too many ideas and no clear direction. Think about it. So even when you are meditating, if you don't know how to control all those thoughts, you would end up having what? Too many ideas and no clear direction. This has happened to me so many times in the past. Those were the days that I really didn't put what my mom taught me into use. Because when I was growing up, when I was in high school, my dad passed when I was in high school. So from the time of his demise, my mom was the person who stepped into the role of the father, the mother, the uncle, the aunt, everything. She was everything to me. And I owe her today everything that I have learned. I owe her everything that I have accomplished in my life. So when I was in high school, my mom would always come to me in the middle of the night. Because she prays into the middle of the night. She prays till like 2, 3, that late. So she would come to the room and wake me up and say, "My son, get up." I would struggle. I would say, "Mom, what's going on?" And she would say, "My son, I want you to sit down." She will now ask me, "John, what are those things you want God to do for you in your life?" It got to a point, it became a cliche, but she knew what she was doing. She knew the importance of repetition. She knew all what she was doing. Though we were complaining, I would struggle and say, "Mom, I already told you what I want God to do for me." She would say, "No, I want you to write them down. Go grab a pen and a piece of paper and write those goals down." I would still struggle from my bed, go and grab a pen, a paper, and I would write everything. I would show it to her. When I show it, I'll say, "Mom, that's it. Here you go. These are the things I want God to do for me." She would say, "My son, take that paper and go and drop it on the altar." Because my mom is a staunch Catholic till today. So she has a place in the house where she keeps her Bible, her Catholic accessories. So she would ask me to drop it there, and I would go there and drop it right there and come right back to her. She would say, "Sit down, my son. Do you know the reason why I asked you to write down those things you want God to do for you and put it over there?" I'll say, "Mom, what is it and why?" And she would say, "Because God answers prayers faster when you write them down." And she would say, "John, I want you to always, every day of your life, when you wake up, even if you forget when you wake up, but make sure every day of your life, you go through that list that you have kept there. And when God eventually answers any goal or any request of yours from that list, I want you to strike it off." Little did I know that my mom was teaching me how to write down, how to capture my thoughts, how to write them down, and how to set goals. I didn't know. But she did that through repetition. But at some point in my life, I wanted to explore. So during that period where I wasn't doing those things that I was taught by my mom, I realized that I was always having too many ideas. I'm that person who I meditate a lot. I always take time. So I always have ideas that when I share with people, they'll be so shocked, like, "My man, where do you get these ideas from?" Right? I am eccentric. So I didn't know that not knowing how to write down, or rather not writing down those things, would give me too many ideas without a clear direction. But during the course of my personal development, when I started building myself from the inside out, I started reading books. I started interacting with very intelligent people. Then I realized the reason why I wasn't able to really fulfill most of those ideas that I had, because I stopped doing what I was taught when I was younger. I stopped writing. I stopped writing down my thoughts. And if you're listening to me right now, and if you are that person who does not see the importance of writing down your imaginations, your thoughts, I want to implore you this very moment. I want to remind you this minute, this second, to please do not underestimate the importance of writing down your thoughts. If you do not, you will always end up having too many ideas and no clear direction. I assure you of that. I've experienced it. So meditation is paramount, but meditation without being able to control the flow of the brain would also affect you. It will also make your meditation not even worth the while. So when you're meditating, have a pen and a piece of paper so you can write down. Write down as many things you can, as much information as you can grab. It is very important. If you have not been doing it, try it, and your life will be different. Your life will be different. When you write down, you are automatically programming your brain to focus on a particular thing. You know, a lot of people say, oh, it's better to, you know, they're not old school. They don't like to write. They prefer to save on their phones. And there is a separate energy when you handle a pen. You see this? When you grab a pen, there is a different type of excitement that flows. There's a different type of energy that flows. And that's why the greatest people in the world today, they all used a pen to write on paper. You should always have something to write on. You should always have it. Meditation. So you meditate and write down everything you do. The moment you grab your pen, your brain automatically becomes, you know, it channels some kind of excitement, because it knows that for you to take time out to want to write something, it means you are excited about that thing you want to write. Meditation. The next one is planning. You should learn to plan. That's why they say if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. P, planning. You must always plan. Do not always think, oh, I'm always ready. No, there's no such thing as that. A lot of people at times, you know, I know I'm always ready when it comes to things, but planning is necessary. Planning is your roadmap, your blueprint. Planning is what helps you effectively move from where you are to where you want to be. And under planning, you have different types of planning. You have strategic planning. But for this topic, understanding your purpose, we're going to focus more on strategic planning. You should be able to know, this is what I want for my life. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine some time ago, and I asked him if he had a business plan. And this guy has been in business for over a decade, for so long, going to, you know, several decades. And I asked him, what's your business plan? I would like to review it, because I work with people to help them to help them develop business plans. I work with individuals and organizations to help develop business plans. Because as a strategist, I work with them to help them achieve their strategic goals. And for you to achieve your strategic goals, you definitely would need a plan. So, and this man said he doesn't have a business plan. I was like, are you kidding me? Why would you be in business? And you've been in business for that long without having a business plan? And he said, yes. He has never used one. And this guy makes a lot of money. He turns over millions of dollars. But I introduced him to the importance. I was able to convince him, to let him know the importance. Like, if you are making 100 million, if you're turning over 100 million annually without a plan, if you have a plan, you're going to quadruple that sum. So I was able to talk to him and he did that. So also in your life, you should have a plan, because your plan is the blueprint. Your plan is that thing that would help you realign with your true goal, your initial goal, if for any reason you deviate. Because life throws things at people. Life is not fair. You might say you want to go this route, but for some reason, things would happen and you would derail from your plan. But the plan already has all those things prepared way before you even got started. So if anything happens and you miss your exit, it will be easy for you to go back to the plan and read all the steps that you initially planned for so that you can bounce back. So you should have a plan. When you finally identify who you are, you should have a plan to help you move from where you are to where you want to be. And the A stands for accountability. Now, that A stands for accountability and action. What is accountability? Accountability is the ability for you to hold yourself accountable for your goals and your visions and your dreams. And that's the reason why a lot of people form mastermind groups. So you should have people with like minds in your network. When you figure out what your purpose in life is, you should have people with like minds. You should have people around you. If you want to be a motivational speaker, you should always hang around people who speak. If you want to become a trainer, a teacher, you should always hang around people who have the same vision. Because that way you all can help develop yourselves. That way you all can help propel yourselves to the next level. It is very effective for you to have a network. And thank God that networking is no longer much of a big problem. Back in the days, for you to become a part of a network, you would have to spend so much money. But right now, you don't have to. I always like to emphasize on that. You should have an accountability group. It's not only those accountability groups that require you to pay money that are effective. There's so many. It's just like you going to the gym. If you want to get the result that you want when you're going to the gym, you need a coach. You need other people who have the same target, so that when things happen and you want to withdraw and you want to, and you want to break out from it, those other people would always talk you back into coming into the goal or realigning with your goal. It's the same thing that happens in business. Most great businesses today are owned by more than one business owner, because partnership comes with its own advantages. Same thing with accountability. You need people to always hold you accountable. You need people to always call you to your mistakes. You need people to always help you build the character that would help you move to the next level. So A is accountability and action. If you have a vision, if you have a dream, if you have a calling within you, if you do not take action, there is no way that dream will come to life. One of the favorite quotes I always love to use when I'm talking about taking action is a quote from Greg Reed. And the quote says, "A dream written down with timelines becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed with action makes your dreams come true." You see, Greg Reed was able to break it down from when you have that idea. Could be a dream, it could be a vision. He was able to break it down from having an idea to writing it down. You know, one thing a lot of you need to also know is that writing down your visions or your dreams, or it does not necessarily convert it into a goal. But when you put timelines, then it becomes a goal, not just ordinary timelines, but realistic timelines. So Greg Reed said, when you have a dream, a vision, an idea, you should write it down with timelines. And when you write it down with timelines, it becomes what? It becomes a goal. I want you to write this down because this is very useful. It becomes a goal. And now when you have that goal, not until you break down those goals into little bits, it might be difficult for you to actualize or to carry out. So you break it down and it becomes what? A plan. Just what we were talking about previously in the P part of it, plan. When you have a plan, all that is left for you at that point is to take action. And in most cases, a lot of people abandon everything at that point. A lot of people abandon it for certain reasons best known to them. It could be as a result of procrastination, which is, that's another terrible thing. That's why they say procrastination is a thief of time. A lot of people abandon their plans because of procrastination. Some abandon it because of the challenges life throws at them, which of course is inevitable. Everybody must experience some ups and downs. Some people abandon it because they feel they do not know how to get started. Because sometimes you might have an idea that might seem easy at the beginning, but when you get started, you would realize that it's not as easy as you initially thought, right? A lot of people talk themselves out of it because they get to that point where they feel it's out of their league. But trust me, if you have an idea that's easy for you to, an idea that is easy for you to just easily get in and knock it off, trust me, that's not what you want to waste your energy on because it's too easy. That's within your comfort zone. That's why Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. It takes the same energy to think big and do big things, or the same energy to think small. The choice is actually yours. So a lot of people talk themselves out of it when they get to that point, when they experience a barricade, when they experience some fear, they let it go. So you must take action. If you have ever talked yourself out of any major dream, vision, this is the time for you to know that that was a mistake. Write those dreams down and start to pursue them this time around. How can you take action towards those things you once abandoned? The first thing I would recommend for you is write them down again. Write them down with timelines. The next thing I would recommend is look for people who are already doing that thing. Or look for people who can contribute. Do not always think you have to get things done by yourself. That's a major problem. It's something that will tear you down. You cannot always do things by yourself. So look for people who you think would complement you in that area. Join networking groups. Now, I'm in the midst of people who, or rather, I have some friends and relatives who believe that when you have a major thing you want to do, you should keep it to yourself. I'm not an advocate of that. I'm not saying you should go around and start blowing your trumpet when you have an idea. No. You must look for somebody who will be able to hold you accountable to it and tell that person. Because if you don't say it out, inside your own mind, you will talk yourself out of it. Inside your own head, you will talk yourself out of it. But you should have someone you tell so that that person can always remind you, hey, buddy, what about that deal you told me about? What about that invention you were thinking about? The brain is so good at helping you erase thoughts if you do not focus on writing them down. So you should learn to always have somebody that you tell those great ideas. That's the person who would always remind you and hold you accountable. Accountability and action is paramount. So when you have those ideas that you've talked yourself out of, what do? Write them down with timelines, right? Take action. Look for somebody, look for a partner. You don't need to know the how. No wonder Les Brown said, if your why is big enough, you will find your how. I have tested it. I have tried it, and it works. Don't talk yourself out of great visions anymore. At that point where you feel you don't know how to move from that point, it's because it's just you. It's you alone who is still thinking about it. Trust me, there's someone out there who, when you tell that idea that is bothering you, that you can't even figure out, when you tell that person, I assure you, there's someone out there. When you tell that person, you would not need to think anymore because that person will do all the thinking for you. You just need to find that person. And that person will do all the calculation, will provide all the algorithms for you to help you move from making it a thought to a real thing. Don't talk yourself out of things. So accountability partners are paramount, then action. Then the C stands for character building. When you discover your purpose, the next thing you should do is to work on character building, because your character determines how people around you would work with you. Your character determines how people will perceive you. Character building. Character building. You know, they say it is when one becomes successful that the true character of that person comes out. You don't want to be that person who they call arrogant. You don't want to be that person who they call someone with lack of empathy. You don't want to be that person, because when you discover your purpose, you will be operating from a position of power. When you discover your purpose, you will be operating from a position of influence. When you discover your purpose, you will be operating from a position of a teacher. So you must go through some character building stage. Character building is paramount. And when you have done that, the T represents teaching, to teach. A lot of people that I have discussed with do not know that they were created to lead and to teach. You have a gift inside of you, right? A gift that you need to identify and harness, right? When you finally figure it out and you finally know how to put your gift to work, your potential to work, you at that point are mandated to transfer that knowledge. You must transfer that knowledge. You must transfer that knowledge, because nobody in life will get out of this life alive. No matter how wealthy you think you are, no matter how blessed you think you are, no matter how good you think you are at your craft, you will not get out of this life alive. I'm telling you, this is a reminder for you. So you must learn to always teach what you know. You must learn to always teach people what you know. No wonder Jim Rohn said, if you help people get what they want, you will get all that you want. Not until you learn how to transfer your knowledge, you might still be struggling. Your gift, your calling would not be complete. So you must learn to teach people what you know. So we're going to go over this briefly again. Impact, I-M-P-A-C-T, impact. We were born to impact. Where the I is to identify your potential, M is to meditate, P is to plan, A is for accountability and action, C is for character building, and T is for teaching. Now that we've gone through all these steps, now that you know what you are supposed to do to impact lives, I want you to ask yourself this very good question. What's my purpose in life? I want you to ask yourself, what's your purpose in life? I know what my purpose is. And when you find out your purpose, not until you do that, you will continuously run around circles. Because your purpose is to lead. Your purpose is to impact. Your purpose is to influence. So if what you are doing right now does not put you in those categories, you still haven't discovered your purpose. I'm not saying you have to become a preacher. Neither am I saying you have to become a motivational speaker. But if you are not in a position of leadership, if you are not in a position where you impact lives, if you are not in a position where you influence people, that's not your calling. You don't have to work for an organization and get management position to be a leader. No. You are a human being. You have your own life, your own destiny to lead. You have your own gift. Irrespective of your job, you have your life. You are a leader of your life. You are the one that can help yourself move from where you are to where you want to be. The choice is just yours. You just need to sit back and follow these acronyms, these formulas I just gave to you. I, identify your potential. M, meditate. P, plan. A, accountability and take action. C, character building. T, teaching. When you follow this, when you follow these steps, when you use these in your life, you will find yourself in a position of influence. You will find yourself in a position of impacting lives. I know we are going through perilous times right now, where the level of depression has increased, the level of anxiety has increased, the level of domestic violence has increased, and even the level of hunger has increased. But to you who's listening to me right now, I want to tell you not to give up. Don't give up, because you are one step away from your breakthrough. Don't give up. No matter what life has thrown at you right now, don't give up. If anyone had told us before the COVID that we would be struck with such a pandemic, nobody would have believed. I remember I was in church during the crossover service into the new year. We were happy. We had plans. We had so many plans. But before we could know it like this, there was a complete paradigm shift. And we are still experiencing the effect of that paradigm shift. But at that point, we all had we all had tough decisions to make. Albert Einstein said, "In the middle of every difficulty lies an opportunity." What does that mean to you? It means that in times of adversity, we all have a gift within us that can either be developed or, if already developed, can be used to help people transition from that point of trouble to the other side. The people who are enjoying or having fun right now are those people who were able to think, are those people who were able to quickly ask themselves, how can we add value? This may surprise you. Do you know that after the pandemic, when we get past all this, we will have more millionaires and more billionaires? Yes. That's a fact. That's what will happen. Because those people who utilized their potentials never experienced any problems. They just had a few challenges, but they still were able to add value. Your job is different from your work. Your job is not something that your job is not guaranteed. A lot of people have lost their jobs during this pandemic. Your job is not a guarantee. I always encourage people to use their 9 to 5 to finance their 5 to 9. No matter what you're going through, if you still have a job, you are lucky. But do not rely on that job. This is the time for you to develop your skills. This is the time for you to put your skills to work. This is the time for you to activate that greatness within you. Your job is temporary. You could get fired. But your work is what you were born to do. I want you to understand this. Your job is what you are paid to do. It is temporary. But your work is what you were created to do. You can never be fired from your work. You can never be fired from your work because it is innate. I'm not saying I'm a therapist. So if you are going through any form of depression or anxiety, seek help. Seek help from the experts who can work with you. But one thing that I know I can tell you is that no condition is permanent. Heraclitus said the only constant in life is change. Whatever you're going through right now is only a phase in life, and it will pass. It will certainly pass. So when you're making decisions, especially now that you're going through challenges, do not rush it. Take your time. Take your time to make these decisions. Do not use temporary situations to make permanent decisions. It will come back and bite you so hard. You don't want to do that. If you have lost your job, let it go. It was meant to be that way. I want you to raise your head up high. Look up. And look out for those open doors. There's so many opportunities for you. If your business is going through challenges, I don't want you to beat yourself over it. It is time for you to try a different approach. It is time for you to seek help. It is time for you to look for that accountability partner. It is time for you to look for that subject matter expert who can come in and work with you to move the business to the next level. For those who have lost loved ones, it is time for you to immortalize the name of that person who has gone. It is time for you to think of ways to remember that person in a grand style. It is time for you to create a legacy for that person. You can write a book in that person's name. It is time for you to think about things you can do to honor that person, because they are in a better place. I've been there. I honestly sympathize with you. It is not easy to bear the loss, but how you choose to carry on is what matters. Death is not an easy thing. I sympathize with you if you have lost a loved one. God has a reason for everything. But you are still alive. You are still very much alive. So take that as a reminder for you to impact the lives of others that come across your way. Take time to influence the environment that you still have control over. As a remembrance for that person you have lost, you can visit the orphanage homes and donate some items to them every year. You can cook and give to those people who don't have food every year, same day every year. And I assure you, your loved one, wherever he or she is, will be smiling down on you. Life is difficult, but it is adversity that brings out the superhero in us. I haven't met you before. I don't know how many people are watching me. But for as long as you are watching me and for as long as you can hear me, I know one thing about you. I know that you've got greatness within you. I know that you are an abode of greatness. I know that you were created on purpose, with a purpose, for a purpose. That's all I know about you. And that's enough. So you have to do your best to live your best life. I really thank you all for listening to this program, listening to this broadcast. And I still want to call upon those people who are trying to start businesses but do not have the money to register their business, their LLC, I want to call on you. I don't know why people will be shy to ask. If you or anyone you know is trying to set up a business, if you or anyone you know wants to register an LLC, a business name, it costs money. We can finance that for you at no cost to you. We will do that. Send them my way. A lot of people are going through self-development now. A lot of people are trying to refine their gifts. And at the end of the day, they will be required to set up LLCs, business names. It will cost you some money. We want to help you. We want to help you reduce your expenses. Reach out to us and we will set up, we will pay for you to get that business set up. We will pay for you to have that business name set up. Reach out. I was talking to someone the other day, and she said she would like to be a beneficiary of what we do, but she doesn't want me to let people know that she collected money from the organization to do that. But the thing is that it is a group of people that are helping you raise this money, and they will definitely be notified. You shouldn't be ashamed of things that are coming to you free of charge. Those are blessings in disguise. Don't turn away. Don't turn down your blessings. When you live a life of influence, a life of impact, a life of leadership, you will always get things come to you. And this is the beginning of your greatness. You should accept all these blessings and stop being shy over things that are greatness, things that are meant to help you move to the next level. We're waiting for you. We want you to reach out to us, and you would find the contact information on the screen. Let's see. Send us an email and we'll definitely reply you. I want to thank everybody for the beautiful contributions. Caroline, thank you for listening. Let's see. Someone's watching from Philippines. I love that. We're impacting lives all over the world. Yes, someone says the share button is not enabled. Yes, it means you're watching the program from the group. If you're watching from the group, the share button will not be enabled. All you need to do is invite your contacts to the group. So if you're watching from the group and you cannot share, invite all your contacts to the group. That way, they will be able to watch the broadcast. Blessings from Norway. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I love this. Greatness is within you. Do not let anybody tell you otherwise. You've got all it takes to achieve your dreams. All you need to do is to make up your mind. Make up your mind. Hang around the right people, only quality people. Have good accountability partners, and your dreams will come true. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. This is a program we will be doing every week. And if you have any feedbacks, feel free to send us an email. The email is info@johnughulufoundation.org. And you can also visit our website. It's johnughulufoundation.org. If you want to make donations, visit our website, johnughulufoundation.org, and you can make donations directly from that page. I'm so glad I have fulfilled this today, and I'm so happy that someone out there has been touched. So please remember, like and share this broadcast. This is not an issue of you giving people money. This is an issue of you sending this message to that one person who was about to give up, sending it to that one person who felt he or she is already too old to discover their purpose in life, sending it to that person who feels that the life is unfair. That's what we're asking you to do now. Share the broadcast. If you are watching from the group, you will not be able to share it because the share button is not activated. You need to invite your contacts to the group. But if you can share, please share. And another disclaimer, this is not a religious organization. What we do here is just to motivate and inspire people. So everybody from all walks of life, everyone from all kinds of religious backgrounds are free to participate in the program. Please feel free. It's not religious. It's just a way to help you understand that you've got greatness in you. You were created to lead, to impact, and to what? You were created to lead, impact, and to do what? To affect people's lives. So I want you to think about it. And remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Have a great day. And God bless you.
Abode of Greatness Worldwide